Hello everyone and welcome to the first annual Flop Draft Special. Alongside Alex Ainsworth, Caleb Boyd, and Derek Teamy, I'm Luke Ainsworth. Today we're going to take you through the draft order and show you what's up with the first round. Colleagues here are going to give you a little breakdown, tell you who's going where and why. Before we get to that, however, though, let's take a look at the 2009 standings. Alex, again, we see Steve Teamy atop the leaderboard. What puts him up there year after year?
Well, quite frankly, Luke, to tell you, Steve Teamy is a bear. There's no other descriptive term that can be used to describe Steve Teamy other than bear. He constantly is hawking the waiver wire up at 6 a.m. to check out the newest closer editions. But with Steve Teamy, it all starts with the draft.
And with that being said, let's take a look at last year's draft order. As we see, first pick overall going to Alex, actually. Steve, you see, gets the third pick overall there. There appears to be some similarities with the standings from last year and last year's draft order. Derek, are we going to see a similar correlation this year, or was that just a coincidence?
That's by far just a coincidence, and I like the bottom 7 of the draft order doing better this year, actually, including the 6th pick overall.
Does it? We don't have the draft order yet, Derek. But when we get to that, we'll address that issue.
Yeah, that 6th pick, he's really good.
Well, we're going to show you later on who will be the 6th pick. It's a mystery to any of us, but I'm sure Derek has some future seeing capabilities. But with that, let's take a look at the draft odds for this year. As you see, the odds to get the first pick, they're fairly even this year.
Pretty even, yeah.
I don't see anybody with really a leg up getting that first draft selection. But it seems that whoever wins the draft lottery is going to get the prize of Albert Pujols. But there's plenty of good, if you will, consolation prizes out there. And we take a look at Yahoo's top 15 here. Caleb, do you see any surprises, snubs, or problems with this list that you have?
I have one particular problem, and I think that's Chase Utley at number 4. I don't understand how he's the number 4 pick on Yahoo top 15 anyways. And another guy I like to keep my eye on this year, Matt Holliday. This guy is projected to hit 48 home runs and 169 RBIs and hit 342 this year, Bob.
That's a hell of a year.
It is.
That's news to me.
Bold numbers for Matt Holliday there. With that, let's go ahead and take a look at our analyst rankings. We see a little bit of variation, but for the most part, they're just about the same. Alex, what do you see in your board that's different from some other boards? Maybe you have some problems with them.
Well, when I hit the first round, I like to take a sure thing, and there's no surer thing than a first base this year. So I'm keeping all those big fatties up there at the top. Whereas in my competitors list, I see names like Joe Mauer, Carl Crawford, Matt Holliday. Position scarcity is one thing, but they're unproven commodities. One spike year doesn't lead me to believe to take them in the first round. It's all about getting value in your first round, and I just don't see it from those picks.
It actually surprises me to see Fielder and Howard and such down low on Caleb's board. I know he's a big chubby chaser, so I really thought they'd have been higher on the board. But any defense there, Caleb?
No.
All right, Derek. Interesting that I see Adam Dunn made your list just at the bottom there, number 13. What's the deal there?
He just cannot get into that first round. Every year he tries so hard, but he doesn't have the people around him to get him up there with the RBIs, runs. He gets the home runs for you. And the average, they throw their best at him every time. Get him.
Yes,
I think you just like to suck his dick, personally.
Derek does appear to have some kind of man crush on Adam Dunn, but before everybody gets out of control too much here and the fists start flying, let's go ahead and find out who's going to get the first pick in this year's draft.
How are we going to figure this out?
I'm expecting a call from the commissioner any moment now.
Oh.
And there it is, a call from the commissioner, Alex Ainsworth, going to phone in who gets the first pick here.
Hey Luke, I've just received the first pick of the draft. It happens to be you.
All right. Maybe you didn't hear it. I don't know. Maybe you did. I was on the phone with the commissioner there, and the first pick goes to a Chocolips. As we see the team profile here, it seems that the obvious selection is Albert Pujols with the number 1 pick. But is it really that obvious, guys?
Yeah,
It's as obvious as my ass is white.
and that's pretty damn white.
I'd like to call shenanigans on this draft order.
There's no time for that.
Yeah.
Would you care to elaborate on your shenanigans?
Well,
No, it's not.
Apparently, Derek thinks there's some
Inside.
shenanigans involved here with the draft order, which just because I'm first doesn't mean that there's any shenanigans. I think it's quite fitting because look at me. But anyway, so if that's all the analysis we have, we're going to move on, find out who the number 2 pick is. And we'll be expecting a phone call again from the commissioner anytime. Oh, and there we have the phone call in. Let's check this out. Yes.
Hey, Luke, it looks like the second pick of the draft is Matt DeBolt.
All right, you heard it there. The Book of Job. Matt DeBolt is the manager there. He's going to have the second pick overall. Where do we think he's going with this, guys?
Well, you know, one of 2 great Job names this year, a fitting guy. I wanted to say a little bit about this. Tijon Job is the heart and soul of this Hoosier team. Despite losing 10 in a row, they really have shown some promise on the bench because Tijon just looks so good over there.
That's true. He looks to be really coming into his own and really bodying up with the big players on some of the other teams. Now, about DeBolt's pick here, with baseball maybe in mind.
I can't see him going anywhere besides Hanley Ramirez with this pick. A-Rod's a possibility, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'd like to go with A-Rod. With him getting his ring and with the steroid issue off of his back this year, and he's no longer hurt to start the season, I see him producing a lot of runs and a good average in New York this year.
all right, I happen to think that, Hanley is the number 2 pick, but A-Rod is definitely up there for consideration. Maybe Ryan Braun also. Maybe even Matt Kemp, but we're not going to go there just yet. I think it's still Hanley Ramirez, though.
You know, third base is not as deep as it has been in previous years. It's maybe 5 deep. It's really top heavy.
That's true.
So we could see him leaning A-Rod's way. He started the year with that hip injury last year and the steroid scandal. So it really got off to a rough start, but he came around towards the end of the season. So I'll be interested to see if DeBolt makes a bold pick and goes with A-Rod at the second pick.
30 home runs.
Now the third pick should be coming in any moment here. Expecting a call from the commissioner. Who do we think is going to get the third pick here?
Well, I got to go with DeMar.
I'm gonna
the
have-
black fella.
I'm going to go with...
All right, so we're expecting some.
gonna go with-
we have it in.
Oh, wait, you already had the first pick. My bad.
All right. Yes,
Hello, Commissioner. When I'm Commissioner.
you're commissioner.
The third overall pick goes to J.D. Schlitter.
All right, you heard it there. The third overall pick goes to J.D. Schlitter. And then we heard the debate there, Hanley Ramirez and A-Rod with the battle for the second pick. Do we think it's definitely whichever one of those doesn't go 2 is going 3?
It's got to be. Michael J. Fox, Teen Wolf, J.D. Schlitter, all the same thing. Can't go off the board and take another position.
He did a fine job as Alex P. Keaton. There's no doubt about that.
I'm going to have to agree on that one also. Nom. We'll pick A-Rod with the third pick.
All right, and we're going to move on and get our fourth call here from the commissioner. He's really doing a good job of really getting these phone calls in nice and quick.
Well, you know, connection speeds sometimes suck.
Indeed it does. Yes.
Hello, Luke.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, hey, the fourth pick of the draft goes to Ian Sanders, my beloved.